Berlin is in an uproar. The Chancellor has once again laid down the law, ordering all ministers to remain silent. There has been a regime change in Hungary, and fuel is getting really expensive. Because now it's not just NATO that's finished, but Donald Trump is even blocking the supply routes for European gas and oil. We'll take a look at that this morning in our video, and if you'd like to support this channel, please leave a like and subscribe. It would help me a lot to show these videos to even more people, and now I'd say let's get started.
Yeah, so I'm asking honestly, how can you do that? He really gave his economics minister Reiche a dressing down. He said he was puzzled by what she said. She said what he should have said.
She said what the Chancellor's opinion actually was. So let's back that up with some facts. The Chancellor hinted at it, Reiche pushed it through, whether we like it or not. But she simply shared the Chancellor's view and made that clear to us. There are no relief measures. And now, yes, that's not left-wing politics, so Mr. Jurgis, just stick to the truth. That's what really happened and not what some people are imagining here.
In the wonderful phrases she used, namely that the windfall tax is expensive, ineffective, and constitutionally questionable. A golden phrase, he should have said that as Chancellor, but he's floundering. And I'm curious to see if this week he'll manage to get even a hint of direction, one that leads the coalition.
Yes, ever since Friedrich Merz became Chancellor, he's never had a clear direction. That's how it's always been so far. The Chancellor had an idea, usually even a good idea. Then the SPD came along and it was done exactly the way the SPD wanted and no other way. So what's going on with Welt this morning? Do they somehow have a... Oh, Orban is gone. We took out the left spoon or something and shoveled up wisdom with a spade. So what's up this morning? By the way, you might not see this video until around noon. That's because I waited for the press conference first. If you see the video at 9:15, then you know I didn't wait for the press conference. So, back to the context.
You have to wonder, what business does the finance minister have organizing an economic conference? Is he responsible for that? No, he's not. He's assuming authority that doesn't even belong to him. Thank you very much.
That's exactly what everyone here in Germany has been saying. That meeting that took place, which was really just a farce because he only brought in people from his closest circle, and even they told him things can't go on like this. Was it still the responsibility of the Minister of Economic Affairs? It's clearly Lars Klingbeil's job to manage our finances and listen to how the funds are structured, and then to respond to that. And to look closely at which department needs which financial resources, not how to relieve the economy. That's pure bureaucracy, what they're doing there. And in the end, we actually have no say at all in what is done in the economy and what isn't. And that's why I personally would have been so angry if I worked in a huge company and was in charge of marketing or was in charge of sales. Then marketing or sales shouldn't just come into my department and say, yeah, but no, Sasha, you have to do it differently, either in sales or in marketing. No, that doesn't work doing something like that. That not only undermines the integrity of a minister, but also destroys it and leads to even more arguments, even more drama here in Germany. That's exactly what we really don't need, unless your business model is hate and incitement like mine and defaming people. Just kidding, of course. I'm just telling you the truth and nothing else.
The Chancellor does nothing. Sometimes I get the impression that Merz is the SPD's Chancellor.
End. There he agrees with me again about what I just said. You see, I'm letting this run live, so I can't really know what he said before. Yes, he is the Chancellor of the SPD. He really does everything. He really does everything to satisfy the SPD. I still ask myself to this day, why do people actually do something like that?
Actually, yes, because you can't expect anything from politics anymore.
We already noticed that just last night after Friedrich Merz immediately gagged everyone again, didn't we? And this morning at 9 o'clock, let's say, they first agreed behind the scenes on what exactly was allowed to be said. And what absolutely must not be said in Saxony-Anhalt so that it doesn't negatively affect the elections. Come on, it's no different with us, it's just curiosity. A tactical back and forth game by some, let's say, total disasters.
This morning's news comes from Hungary.
Hungary. Wonderful story. I saw the pictures at night and it reminded me of the days when East Germany collapsed and when the wall fell.
Well, I would compare that with a few different things. I think it's pretty reckless to put something like that in such a context. There wasn't an East German regime that fell back there arresting people at random. Yeah, maybe Hungary was corrupt, but the real question is it not corrupt anymore now? He just got a two-thirds majority and even says himself that what he's changing now will take years, even decades, to put an end to the corruption that's prevalent there. And another fact, as an aside, the new prime minister in Hungary, I'm having a hard time pronouncing that name. Back then, he left his ex-wife because she was involved in those mafia structures in Hungary, and she only resigned much later. So these are things that definitely, yes, absolutely should be discussed as well.
Thank you very much. It seems very likely now that Europe's aid package for Ukraine can be set in motion.
Thank you very much. Did they not do their homework at all? Serbia, or Slovakia, I would really have to check now, but they have already announced their veto. They have now made it very clear, no, if Orban's veto is lifted, then we will use the veto on Ukraine instead. These funds will not be released as long as no more gas flows into these countries, and they're really on their last legs now.
Then, with Orban, Mr. Trump and Mr. Putin have lost. They were supporting him. Trump even called into a rally in Budapest when his Vice President Vance was there, and they put him on speaker. Then he said Orban is a truly wonderful man. That shows that the fascination with Trump is no longer present, even in such circles. Trump is done. And I believe that what we've just seen in Hungary is the beginning of a retreat for the right-wing populists.
Yes, that's what we all said when Trump came to power. And now the left is back, and the left has fought back, and they still are to this day. I mean, people are really taking a more aggressive approach now, no question about it. But the fact is, I just don't believe that. I think that even more people see it as a reason to reclaim some kind of stronghold. And that's also what we're experiencing here in Germany.
Not go to the right-wing populists, but that a centrist candidate, and I do have a particular favorite, that she will run as his successor. There's no path leading to the right. Everyone is satisfied with this situation.
What on earth is wrong with him? Everyone is satisfied. Come on, Mr. Georges, just take a look at the election polls. Just look out there across all of Europe and see how satisfied people actually are with their governments. How satisfied people are with the crisis response. I'm telling you, on average, 80% across all of Europe are absolutely dissatisfied with these governments. What we saw in Hungary, yes, that may be, but what we saw in the US is a completely different story. There, people deliberately voted out the left. And what's happening in New York now, I mean, the left-wing mayor, he's even more unpopular than all those who came before him.
I always thought NATO was an alliance of values, but I've given up on that now.
That's not entirely correct, because NATO is also a defense alliance. And when it comes to securing or clearing the Strait of Hormuz, NATO is actually predestined to do exactly that.
An alliance of values doesn't destroy civilizations. He should have told that to Trump. But he walked into the Oval Office feeling completely guilty and listened to claims that NATO doesn't work. Totally impossible.
Yes, and that NATO is on the verge of ending, that should also be mentioned.
That's the International Day of Political Cowardice. And we can't afford days like that. The only man who said something about it publicly was Pope Leo.
Yeah, wait a minute. The Pentagon also approached them and I have to say really threatened them, that they could even bring down the Catholic Church again. And after that, he only said it out of spite because, let's be honest, a US president would never start, attacking a church